Good morning. I've been going by this painting for a little while, and it constantly has been bugging me. And I can't quite put a finger on what it is. However, today I decided um, there's not enough contrast, and the colors that I've chosen on this particular painting are, they need to be uplifted somehow. So being that I like doing experimental work, I've also decided I'm going to use color. I don't usually use colors because these are petroglyphs. I will leave some of the shapes of the animals, and I will leave some of the original color down on here. Here you can see where I attempted to actually put a little bit of coloring pencils over top to see if I couldn't sort of match up this background and make it pop out a little bit more, the figure, but no, it's just not doing it for me. So I've decided I'm going to do a little bit of experimental work on it and use things that I don't normally use. So I'm going to try Kazine colors. I'm also going to try, these are older paints, but they're gouache, artist gouache. So I will try working with artist gouache as well and put some vivid color here and there. And I've just discovered these wonderful, they're Montana acrylic pens, and they're quite vibrant and lovely and luscious. So I'm going to be working with these as well. And as I proceed, I will stop and show you how it's progressing along the way. And so wish me luck. Thank you. At this point, I've worked a little bit with the Kazine, some acrylic, and the Montana pens. And I am noticing that the Kazine is, which is the orange figure here, and the red one, the Kazine lifts, and so that's an interesting thing to observe. And I am not too sure where else I'm going to go with this at this point, so I'll probably have to think about it for a bit, and then I'll get back again to finish this up and show you what's happening. As promised, this is the second half of this painting. As you can see, I have put in quite a few colors. It's still not quite complete. I do like it better than the original at this point, but it has been a bit of a stretch, especially with this figure over here. And I do like the fact that her legs are kind of not as obvious, because this person's legs are very obvious. I think I'm going to work a little bit up here and put some color up here so that the eye can sort of travel around. And after that, I will reassess it, but it'll probably be called a day at that point in time. So we'll see what it looks like when it's totally finished. So when I began this, I wasn't happy with the contrast that was in this painting. So I decided to basically go in and work with colors. Petroglyphs usually have earthy tones, but that's okay. A little variety is always a good thing. So I've made sure that the eye is traveling around the picture, and I've worked with complementary colors, so green against red and blue against orangey tonalities. I may just wait a couple of days, see how I feel about this figure still, and how much contrast from afar and from close up that I get from it. Other than that, I still am enjoying the painting the way it is at this present stage. So the only other thing I would do is maybe go in with a little bit of coloring pencils here and there to maybe do some shading contrast within the cloth itself. And so let's hope this painting finds a good home and a good buyer, and pleasant painting, everyone. So after a lot of thinking and looking and trying to decipher the shapes and forms that were important, and changing the colors a couple of times, I finally decided to leave these as they were. These added a little bit of color over here to pull him out just a little bit. But on this figure, because it was such a let's say a blobby looking figure, I finally decided I had to go back in and do a different color again and add what would be a shawl on top of her, and she's getting her hair washed, obviously. So strengthened up the colors in here a little bit more, and I'm going to call it complete finally. So I may sit with it a couple of more days, but essentially all the main elements that I wanted to pull out of the painting are there. And as I said, I started this exercise because there was something about it that just wasn't working for me for about a year or so. I kept coming back to it and going, it bugs me, I don't know what it is. So now I'm pretty happy with it. We're going to call her a day, and that's just the way it is. Thank you.